Let's go. The running back stardom sit-em for week 4 is here. This is Sleazeball. Welcome to my YouTube channel. As always, guys, if you are new here, smash that like, smash that follow, hit that subscribe button. Help your boy out a ton. And let's start diving into it here. So you're going to see 2 boxes there at the top, 2 little black ones between the verses right there. On the top will be the away team. On the bottom will be the home team. And then I'll give you a green, yellow, and red bar for each player. Green's obviously the stardom. Yellow is obviously in between, and I'm going to debate on if I want to, flex play them or not. I'll drop that information. And then the red is obviously the sit 'em. And then with me, guys, you're going to get a crazy call on a big name weekly. So for my wide receivers, tight ends, running backs, I always like to take a shot and give you guys one of the guys that I think that everyone else is going to tell you to start that I think you should sit. And let's start diving into it. Let's start balling, baby. Let's go. So game 1 here, we are going to start off with the Cardinals at the Niners. So this game literally shows you, like, to your face, you're like, I don't want to play James Conner. But I said that last week versus the Cowboys D, which is, I compare him just to as good as the Niners up front. And he still dropped a touchdown and I think 76 yards. Great showing for James Conner. I mean, his volume is so good that I guess at this point he's, got to be a stardom every week right now. How it's going. His usage rate, he's 10th in usage rate overall at snap share at 73%. I mean, you want that every time you see it. Heading over to the Niners side with Christian McCaffrey, just the best there is, plain and simple. 353 rushing yards, 20.1 points per game in fantasy average. I mean, 80% snap share at number 2. We got to scale that back. I'm a Niner fan, so I say we. But we're using him too much. And that's why I put Elijah Mitchell here in yellow, because last week you got to see a little more of Elijah Mitchell sprinkle in here and there, and McCaffrey's workload scale back a little bit. But I do think we're going to be up against the Cardinals in this game. I don't think it's going to be like the Cowboy game last week where they hang in, I'm going to say we're up by 20 to 25 in this game. You're going to see a lot more Elijah Mitchell. Sticking with the NFC West, we're going to go down to the Monday night game in New York. So Saquon Barkley looks like he's going to be playing, but I'll get to that in a second. Kenneth Walker, guys, if you follow any of my content for the past 3 weeks, I've been saying buy. And you can't buy it no more. The man has 50 points in 2 games. He's averaging 22 touches a game. Yes, Charbonnet's workload has gotten more. Charbonnet still, with the 2-headed monster they're running, this is the K9 show, and it looks like they're trying to establish a double-headed running back beast that is led by K9, of course. All the red zone work belongs to him. You see Charbonnet play the 2-minute drill and stuff, but Kenneth Walker is still getting pass reps, and his workload is just through the roof right now. I have Kenneth Walker on my running back rankings at number 2 this week. On down to New York here, man. This is really tough. I'm such a Saquon Barkley fan. He's always going to be a stardom for me because he's Saquon Barkley. I think he's like the best all-around pass blocking, run blocking, receiving, running back between the tackles. There, like all around there is. I just think the Giants stink, but I'm going to still put him in green because Seattle's defense isn't that great against the run. They are at home. I see Daniel Dimes running for a lot in this game too, but Saquon's always going to be green for me. Breida, nothing but a backup. Charbonnet will be yellow, but he's not really. I wouldn't flex start Charbonnet or nothing. The 2-1 Colts face off against just Kyren Williams. He's the only guy that plays on the field for the Rams with 100% snap share last week in week 3, and in week 2 he had a 92% snap share. I know he didn't do much with it on Monday night against the Bengals, but anybody that is getting that much work is a 100% must start player. He every pass, everything. It's going to be a little more difficult, though, because the Rams O-line did take a big hit in injuries, so we'll see. And the Colts D is pretty good versus the run. So it might be a tougher matchup, but I'm still going to put him in green. Heading down to the Colts and Zach Moss. So Zach Moss has been intriguing for the past 2 weeks. The guy is, I think, 22 and 18, averaging 20 points over the past 2 games. His workload is at 80% a game, which is very interesting to me for him because I really didn't think he was that good of a running back, but I guess he's proven me wrong. But if you watch Monday night, the Rams' run D is very good. So that's why I have him in yellow. You have Aaron Donald in the middle. I know that the Rams got down to the Bengals in that game, and it became like a Joe Mixon, just 4 or 5, 3 yard, 2 yard, 20 carries for 60 yards. That's not great numbers. I don't think Zach Moss is going to see 20 carries in this game like he did last week. I'm going to put Zach Moss in yellow and, of course, Atl Jac in red. But I'm waiting on that Jonathan Taylor news, man. Rule the jungle. The Bengals. Here comes my first big sit-em of the week. Like I told you, I give you that crazy call. Joe Mixon, I'm going to put in green, although the Tennessee run D is very good. I mean, they held Jerome Ford to 18 yards last week, Kareem Hunt to 13 yards. They've held the Saints to 37 yards. Like, they shut down the run, but I feel like their offense is so bad that their defense is on the field so long that Joe Mixon will, just like I was talking about with the Rams game, will see enough volume to the point where he's a startable green play this week. Derrick King Henry. They need to trade this man. So week 1, Tyjae Spears outsnaps Derrick Henry. Week 2, Derrick Henry outsnaps Tyjae Spears by like 10%. And then week 3, Tyjae Spears leads in snaps again, 52-48. What are they doing with this guy? I mean, if you just watch what Kyron Williams did, this is a 100% sit-em for me with Derrick Henry. I don't know what the Titans are doing. I mean, it's their offense is so hard to watch. If you own any piece of it right now, to me, it is a sell everything you can 100%. They're like the Jets to me right now. I can't even watch this offense play at all. Bronco country and 70 points last week is heading into the Chicago Soldier Field. And this is going to be the first time all season that I have Javonte Williams finally in green. So week 1, Javonte Williams was 40%. Week 2, it was 52-48. Week 3, it was 60-40. His ACL is getting healthier. His snap share is going up. And now you get the Bears. This is a smash for me on Javonte Williams this week. And the Bears have been so bad that I'm even going to put Samaje Perine in yellow here too, as, if you have injuries or whatever in a deep league, as a possible flex play, because I think he'll get work to it in this game as well. Now, on the Bears side, it's ugly. So none of these running backs have really done anything. Roschon Johnson's snap share has gone up from like 35 to 52 over the past, 3 weeks or whatever. But, man, with them being down 30 points every game, it's kind of hard to like any of these running backs because Roschon Johnson's not a great pass catching back yet. He's still a rookie. Khalil Herbert is a decent pass catching back, but isn't seeing the field the same. But you get the Broncos. So, I mean, both these sides have decent matchups. That's why I kept Khalil and Roschon in yellow because the Dolphins just ran for like 400 yards against them. So, I mean, Devon Achane had 200 by himself. Mostert had 4 TDs. Achane had 4 TDs, had 8 TDs. You can eat on both these teams. So, I'm going to keep them both in yellow, and Javonte Williams is going to be a huge smash start for me this week. Chiefs Kingdom. Getting the Jets. I almost put, we don't know what's going to happen with Pacheco yet. I was going to put him in yellow just because the Jets run D is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, look what they had like 40 attempts versus them last week between Zeke and Ramondre Stevenson and held them both under like 60, 70 yards each, which is great with how much they're on the field. You got to look at it like that. But, I mean, if Pacheco goes, I'll put him in green just because the volume I think he will see. He did have a little injury. CEH saw 15 carries last week. So if CEH is on your wire, someone you should be looking to pick up. And if CEH goes and he gets to start, I put him in green just because the volume again. The Jets offense is stinks, man. I don't know what they're doing with Zach Wilson. They should be calling Andy Dalton. They should be calling Cam Newton. They should be calling a 6th grader playing Pee Wee football or something, man. This is terrible. So, like I've been saying all year, if you own any of these Jets ever since Aaron Rodgers went down, if you haven't gotten out now, you're in for a rough one, man. I'm putting Breece, Dalvin, Garrett Wilson, every single Jet red every single week. This offense is atrocious. I can't watch it. The goose egg from Sam Howell and the Redskins last week against the Bills was something that was very hard to watch, and now they're coming to Philly. So, the only reason I have Brian Robinson in green is right here. I'm going to put Brian Robinson as a starter. I know against the Bills last week, he only saw 10 carries, but they were getting blown out. And in those 10 carries, he had 70 yards. So he's averaging 7 yards a carry last week. Now, the thing that I have him in green for, the plus is right here, is Antonio Gibson fumbled twice last week on pass catches. So I think that Antonio Gibson's pass catching role is going to get scaled back, which was what was helping him in that game, or giving him playing time, taking away from Robinson. So I think Robinson may take that job here this week because, Ron Rivera had enough of Antonio Gibson last week. Antonio Gibson should be on all wires. Drop him off your team. He's done. Now, the Eagles side. This looks like a league winner, man. DeAndre Swift, I missed on this badly. I didn't think that he'd come out, rush for 180, then rush for 130. But I could run for 20 yards up these holes. Like, he's just literally getting the handoff, and the line is so damn good that he just has 8 yards before he's touched. So, it's unbelievable. It's not going to stop anytime soon. The Commanders aren't going to be able to stop the run. DeAndre Swift's going for another 100-yard game. And with how much the Eagles get up, they're just going to feed the running back. So I'm going to put Gainwell in a yellow as a deep league flex play throw. I don't like it as a 12-man start or something, but if you have tons of injuries, I could see Gainwell getting some value in this game because I think the Commanders get mopped out the building, and it's the Eagles show all the way. Oh my God, I don't know what to do with this team, man. The New Orleans Saints running back room, guys. Let me break this down for you. From weeks 1 to 3, the Saints running backs, so week 1, week 2, week 3, as a group, have 93 yards. That is averaging 33 yards a game for the running back group. It is terrible. I know that Taysom Hill had 80 yards, but he's a tight end. They use him in joker packages, different looks. That's not coming out as a running back. So Alvin Kamara is off suspension this week. Alvin Kamara's snap share to the past 2 years for the Saints has declined drastically. That's why they signed Jamal Williams. That's why they signed Kendre Miller. I don't know why I'm seeing these people so high on Alvin Kamara. Jameis Winston doesn't target the running back that much as a quarterback, and it looks like Derek Carr is going to miss 1 to 2 weeks. I almost put Kamara in red too. The Saints' offensive line is terrible for run blocking. And you get the Bucs, who are actually good at stopping the run. They just played the Eagles so long on defense that they got worn down by that great offensive line, and it made them look bad. But they held in that game for like halfway through the game. So they had like 3 points. The running game was holding well, and then time took over, and they fell apart. Now, Rachaad White, I almost put him in green too, but the Saints defense is pretty good. Rachaad White just saw his best usage of the year in a game where they were down against one of the best defenses. 88% usage in week 3 against the Eagles was phenomenal. He did, Baker Mayfield missed him a couple times wide open, but that will get fixed, I'm sure. And I think Rachaad White is a huge, huge buy low right now if you can with the usage that he's getting. It's insane value for a running back. The rotating Raven wheel of death. I don't know what to do with the Ravens here. So Justice Hill was out last week with injury. Looks like he's practicing. Gus Edwards got a concussion. Looks like he's practicing. Melvin Gordon was added from the practice squad. I put him in yellow just because they could find the end zone maybe as a flex play. I really don't like any of the Ravens this week. If you want to stash Keaton Mitchell, whatever the rookie, that's a nice IR stash for you maybe. But they have to sign Jonathan Taylor. They got to go get a running back or something. The J.K. Dobbins project looks like it's over. That guy's hurt every year. And it just becomes a rotational wheel that you don't want to really start every week. So I put him in yellow if you need like a flex throw, but I don't really like him that much at all. Heading out of the Browns side, Nick Chubb, man. The pain. Losing Nick Chubb forced him to bring in Kareem Hunt, and they used Jerome Ford. So I told you guys to watch out last week on Twitter and everything else that if you have Jerome Ford and don't waste too much fab on him. I know he dropped 2 touchdowns last week. One was a wheel route wide open, and one was like a 1 yard, flag to the one, and he scored on a little, goal line punching. But he was the 4th running back to see the ball out of their running back group heading into week 3, and he only had 18 yards rushing. I know they played the Titans, which is a great run D. Now you get the Ravens. The Ravens are beat up in the secondary, not the front 7. So I'm going to put him in yellow just because he scored 2 teeters. And this is a divisional rivalry matchup, grunge, hard hit 'em game right here. I don't really like any of these running backs in this game, but if you need a flex like option, I could see one of these three being the flex play, but definitely not a running back 2. Definitely not high on my list at all. That's it. I'm done. Get rid of him. I'm going to put him in green, though. Little oxymoron right there. Najee Harris has not broken 10 points on the season. I said last week it's my last time. This is my last time. This is the last time for me with Najee Harris in green, just because the matchup. I like the matchup versus the Texans. It is a better defense than 2022, but Jaylen Warren is coming. He looks better. Most shows I've listened to or tweets and people I talk to on Twitter, whatever it is, say that Jaylen Warren is taking this job next week, or if not that, week 6. I mean, he looks better by the eye test in every metric. So this is like my do or die green for Najee Harris right here. You have to, perform here, or you might be done, bro. You might just be done completely as a starting running back. So, which is crazy to me because he's still so young. But I'm going to put him in green because this is the go get him Najee game. Jaylen Warren in yellow because he hasn't had the job yet. And Dameon Pierce woke up, folks. Last week, you saw actual Dameon Pierce usage. You saw him go above 50% snap share. You saw him find the end zone, and you are seeing this Texans offense actually click for the first time. And CJ Stroud looks damn good, man. The future is bright in Houston. He was my favorite rookie coming out. I tweeted it the whole time. He's better than Bryce Young. He should have been picked first, and look what's happening. He is 10 times better. NFL-ready quarterback. Tank Dell balling. Nico Collins was balling out the gates. They still got to get Dalton Schultz involved, but Dameon Pierce is finding his groove now that the box isn't so stacked like week 1. So I mean, this is a lot of pieces to like here in the Texans. I would buy low on Dameon Pierce 100%, and Jaylen Warren as well. If you can buy low on Jaylen Warren right now, and that owner doesn't know what I'm telling you right now, now is the time to do it for Jaylen Warren too, because Najee Harris looks. I mean, I have him in green because it's the Najee do or die game, but if man, Jaylen Warren's taking this job soon. The Raiders. Josh Jacobs, man. So, 8 points. Don't panic, Raider owners. Let me tell you why. I know it's the Chargers right here, but that's not what I'm talking about. In 2022, Josh Jacobs had the exact same amount of points through 3 weeks of fantasy football that he does right now. And he was the RB1 overall with the most rushing yards by the end of the year. So he came into camp, late, didn't really make it to camp till the holdout was done. Got paid. This is his breakout game right here. The Chargers defense is terrible. This has Josh Jacobs written all over. I even said it in like a couple of my videos, like week 1 or 2. Like, he looked bigger. He looks out of shape. He's getting in game shape. The Raiders are going to feed him the ball. It is going to be a smash Josh Jacobs game this week. Get him in all your lineups, and a 1,000% buy low. My number 1 buy low running back right now would be Josh Jacobs. Zamir White, nothing but a handcuffed. So I put these green and red. Austin Eckler practiced today, but some of the reports look kind of sketch. If Austin Eckler goes, he's always a green, so don't panic on the red. But I do like Josh Kelly, so I like Josh Kelly last week against the Vikings, and it didn't go well. But the Raiders' run D is worse than the Vikings and worse than the Titans that he had the week before. So this could be a smash play for Josh Kelly if Austin Eckler sits also. But if Austin Eckler is playing, obviously he's a must-go green every single week. That's a given. The old man, Raheem, must start 7 touchdowns. Good Lord, this Dolphins offense, man. And I hope you'd hit that subscribe button so you would have seen last week that I left that star there from last week of go get Devon Achane. And now it is too late for you if you missed it, man. He just went for 200 yards and 4 touchdowns, and people could look at it as garbage time. No, he scored the first touchdown of the game on the first drive. He was sprinkling in at 50% rate the whole game. I know he took over at the end because Raheem Mostert's 31 years old, man. What do you want? Both these guys are green. Tua in this offense is unstoppable. You want every piece of the Dolphins offense right now. Tua's going to win the MVP. Also, like I tweeted at the beginning of the season, heading down to the Bills, James Cook was my go-to guy all year. and he is proving that he is mini Dalvin, or he's bigger than Dalvin, but I mean, 15 points, 13 points, 13 points. Hasn't found the end zone yet. He will find the end zone. Don't worry. But his production is through the roof. He's third in the NFL in rushing. The only thing that's kind of worrisome is they were up in those games, so like his snap share was down a little bit. That's fine. I mean, I assume this game to be an absolute shootout game right here. You're going to see a lot of James Cook volume in the passing game. You're going to see Raheem Mostert and Devon AK in the passing game. This is my high scoring shootout game, smash of the week. Damian Harris may even fall in the end zone here, but I'm not saying to start Damian Harris or nothing, but I can't wait to watch this game right here. Duval County. I do not know what is going on with the Jacksonville Jaguars, guys. So, first off, we'll start off with the Falcons. I'm putting both these guys in green coming off a bad week. The Jags D is in shambles. The Jags offense is in shambles. I did not expect this from Trevor Lawrence. I know he missed Calvin Ridley in a wide open touchdown last week, and Calvin Ridley missed 2 touchdowns in week 2 by like a centimeter of a foot on each one. But it doesn't look good. Until they turn things around, you can smash run on this team. You can pass on this team. I hope they turn it around this week, but I'm going to put Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier both as, you could flex start Algier. Bijan's always a must start, no matter what, even had a bad week last week. That happens. I mean, so coming down to the Jags, Travis Etienne. Did I miss on this one, man? So I thought that the preseason talk was going to be that Tank Bigsby is the coaching staff's guy they picked, and it's going to be a different show. That is not even close to what is going on. It is all Travis Etienne. It's crazy. So at the moment, Travis Etienne is getting 82% usage. Travis Etienne, 74% snap share, 82 yards a game. He's balling out, but Bigsby has seen those goal line carries, and Etienne hasn't seen a carry into the 5 yards, which that hurts. But Etienne's electric playability always keeps him at green for me every week. Bill Belichick is heading into Jerry's world. Man, Ramondre Stevenson has had such bad matchups these past 2 weeks, but he's still 6th highest usage rate at running back. And I know people are going to be like, it's a revenge game for Ezekiel Elliott. Don't buy into that. Don't trade for Zeke because of last week. There's very few games that the Patriots are going to be up like that on the Jets where they can just double pound the run, right? That's not going to happen here with the Cowboys. This is going to be more of a play where you see Ramondre getting passes out the backfield. And I don't see Zeke seeing that many carries probably ever again in the season, maybe, but they could. I mean, it's a Cowboys game here. That's why I put Zeke in yellow, because it's a big revenge game for him. All eyes are going to be on this game. You have the Patriots and America's team, so it's like a 4th of July firework game. So Tony Pollard, always green. I could have put Rico Dowdle in yellow. He is looking really impressive. I mean, I didn't even know who he was coming into the season. I'm not going to lie. Found the end zone last week, and they're not using Tony Pollard like you thought they would, Bal Cle him since he got the job. It's been split carries, deuce ball. I know they've been up in these games, so that's one way to look at it too, that the Cowboys had a big lead and they're resting him. You're 2-1 now, man. Niners are 3-0, Eagles are 3-0. It's time to chase the bread. It's time to feed the beast, Tony Pollard. He's going to have a monster game this week. Bank it. Take it to the bank. It is time to let Jahmyr Gibbs fly. This is going to be the breakout game. I'm calling it now. So David Montgomery did practice. I just saw my phone right now. He's still questionable for the game. I don't really know many players who get carted off and their hamstring has got a 3 to 5 week update, and all of a sudden they're back the next week on a Thursday short week game. If he plays, I put David in yellow, but I think you got to temper expectations coming off, getting carted off the field. So I'm not on a green start for David Montgomery. I am on a green for Jahmyr Gibbs. I feel like he finds the end zone in this week. That is going to be my bold prediction call is Jahmyr Gibbs finds the end zone this week. His first career NFL touchdown happens. Put him in green. Must start Jahmyr Gibbs. A.J. Dillon, folks. If you own him, he's almost droppable now. I mean, they brought up what PJ or whatever the third guy was, they were using him more than AJ Dillon when Aaron Jones was out. AJ Dillon looks sluggish, slow, out of shape. Not a rosterable player to me. But again, here the update is that Aaron Jones is going to play. And the update was that Christian Watson was going to play. And then all of a sudden, there's an update saying Christian Watson may not play. So Jordan Love may not have all his weapons yet. But if Aaron Jones plays in any game that he's in, he's always a green must start because of his pass catching ability and his run, running outside, running to the tackles, get the man in open space. I mean, look at week 1. The guy had 28 points and blew his hammy. So, I mean, always a must start for me with Aaron Jones, one of my favorite guys to watch. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Miles Sanders. I'll get to this in a second. So the Vikings, I tweeted this about the end of week 1. Sell Alexander Madison. I do know that he just came off a 15-point game against the Chargers. Everyone eats against the Chargers. But you have to look at it like this. They didn't have to sign Cam Akers. They went out of their way to sign Cam Akers. I know that Ty Chandler was getting a couple carries here and there, but he doesn't look that good. Cam Akers has ties to the coaching staff also from back in the Rams days when he was the bell cow back. I'm really, really worried if you're an Alexander Madison owner that this is going to be Cam Akers' job soon. But I do like to play against the Panthers because everyone eats against the Panthers. I mean, the Panthers are really tough to watch. But they look good with Red Rocket. I mean, last week he 360 yards passing. I didn't expect that. You saw DJ Shark wake up and Thielen wake up. That was interesting. But Miles Sanders, guys, I had him on sit him last week. I mean, that was kind of based on Bryce Young too, which Bryce Young looks like he's practicing. He's going to be playing this game. He saw 9 targets with Andy Dalton and looks like he may find his way just as a flat out baseline 8 to 12 point running back that ends up RB, 14 or 15 on the year. He's a startable running back every week to me at this point right now. I didn't think I'd say that. And Chuba Hubbard, I thought was going to, he looked good through week 1 and 2, would come and give him some work. And it looks like it's all Miles Sanders. I'm not going to lie, I missed on that one. But Miles Sanders is a must start for me until it changes, unless something happens. But Cam Akers is something you should really worry about if you're Alexander Madison for sure. And I'm trying to sell all my stock in Alexander Madison right now if I have any. That is it for my stardom, sit-em running backs for week 4 in all matchups, guys. Thank you for watching. As always, if you want to hit that subscribe button, support your boy. It helps me out a ton. I try and answer every single question you guys have. If it's fantasy lineups, whatever it is. I try to get them as fast as I can because I have so much content coming out that it's just going. But my next one will be stardom sit-em wide receivers and stardom sit-em tight ends. And I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. Peace.